Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by for yet another video. I do appreciate that, and as always, I appreciate you. So what I have here says how Madagascar took control of its plague outbreak. So fortunately, Madagascar is finally starting to get control of this plague outbreak they had, especially the pneumonic plague, which as most of us probably know, can be spread through coughing and sneezing and saliva or whatnot. So basically, it's airborne, and obviously it's the more deadly form of the plague. Now, we also know that if caught soon enough, it can be treated with antibiotics, but if not caught, you could die within 24 hours. But it says in early autumn, it became clear that something was not right in Madagascar. It says the country often sees small outbreaks of the bubonic plague, which comes from an infection spread by a flea bite. It says the disease is also easily treatable with antibiotics. But this time, however, the number of cases were growing quickly and the bacterial infection was spreading in a different, more serious form. It says that if bubonic plague is left untreated, a bacterium can travel to a person's lungs, causing pneumonic plague, which spreads and progresses more quickly. It is always fatal if left untreated and can pass from person to person. Now it says that this epidemic is our common enemy, we must conquer it, read a press release from the government officials in mid-October as cases rose. According to the World Health Organization, estimates in just over 3 months, more than 2,000 have become ill, 171 of whom have passed away. And by comparison, Madagascar only saw about 300 cases in 2015 and 2016 each. So obviously this was 4 times as bad as the previous 2 years. Now, he goes on to say, but this week who announced that new cases and hospitalizations are declining, which is some good news. Now it says only about a dozen people are currently hospitalized for the plague, and the last confirmed cases were reported in late October. So there's been no new cases so far here in November. The number of hospitalizations is also going down. So it appears like it's under control, but you don't want to say it's over just yet. Now it does go on to say that it appears that to some extent the disaster was averted. Yes, I think it was, says Hilary Bauer, and who spent a month in Madagascar as part of the UK Public Health Rapid Support Team. That was one of many organizations, including the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and Doctors Without Borders, that worked with Madagascar's Ministry of Health to quell the outbreak. Now it says that pulmonary plague can spread very quickly and very easily, says Bauer, who helped coordinate communication about the suspect cases of pneumonic plague. And the plague was moving through Madagascar cities, which aren't used to handling these kind of cases. Now it says outbreaks usually happen in rural, remote parts of the country. Treatment centers bulked up their staff. Responders did extensive contact tracing to break the chain of person-to-person transmission. Health workers tracked down about 7,000 people who had interacted with confirmed and suspected plague patients as well. It says that 95% of them have taken preventative antibiotics. Fewer than a dozen of them came down with plague symptoms. In all, about 9,300 people received antibiotic treatment against the plague. Now it says at 8%, the case fatality rate was unusually low, and there was no spread out of the country either. So again, in a lot of ways, even though it was 4 times as bad in the number of cases, at least, the fatality rate and the spread was not as bad as it could have been, not as devastating as it could have been. It says travelers leaving Madagascar's main airport continue to be screened for fevers. Those with plague symptoms are not allowed to travel to surrounding countries, and also those countries remain on alert. So there you have it. Just a quick update on that because I haven't reported on it in a few days. But it seems like, thankfully, they're finally getting it under control. So, but my thoughts and prayers go out to all those that have already been infected, and those families that have lost loved ones, and just a tragic situation and event. But I think that's where I'm going to leave it for now. I mean, if anything changes and there happens to be another outbreak, I mean, I don't see that happening. I'll definitely update you guys on that. But for the most part, it does seem like this event, at least for this year, is just about over for them in Madagascar, which is definitely a very, very positive situation. Um, but it's still tragic that so many people have lost their lives and so many were affected. But again, if there's any more updates, I'll get that out to you. But other than that, that should be about it. So I do appreciate every single one of you. I know I say it all the time, but I truly do, because the channel's growing every day because of you. And I do appreciate you supporting the channel and watching these videos. Be sure to share, like, subscribe, and comment down below. I hope you have a great day. Peace.